Some of you may have heard of the expression fake news.
You are fake news.
While this expression has become a popular joke, there is unfortunately a lot of misleading information out there. Through social media, false information spreads quicker and in larger quantities. The only way to stop these rumors from taking over the internet is a practice called media literacy. To see how informed different people are on the topic of media literacy with regard to social media, I went out and interviewed different types of people to uncover their knowledge on the topic.
My name is Steve Dowell.
I am Josh Lay.
My name is Alexa Cannonberg. I'm a senior at Webster University.
I have Instagram and Twitter.
I do have social media. I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, pretty much any social media you can have. I probably have it now or I've had it before.
I am not officially on there. My wife has Facebook. I can see it. And I have looked at it. I've never posted anything. I'm not on Instagram or really anything.
No, I've never seen that. What?
No, I have not seen this post before.
No, I've not seen this on social media.
It's sad that this dog got badly burned, but it's helping save the family from a house fire, so.
Well, it's sad. It's pretty awful, and I don't know why someone would even post it, really.
Media literacy is defined as the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media in a variety of forms. For more information on the topic of media literacy, I decided to talk with professor and media literacy expert Julie Smith.
I started researching the topic of media literacy back in 1997 when I was in graduate school. I wrote my thesis on it. The average American now is spending between 11 and 11 and a half hours a day with electronic mass media. So the idea of media literacy isn't that the media are bad. We just think that people should be talking about it more and asking more questions about it because we're spending so much time with it, right? So a media literate person knows to ask questions about all the messages that they receive. I would probably say I see the most false information on Twitter. What I love to say about Twitter is that the worst thing about Twitter is that anything goes. There's loads of false information that could be uncovered on Twitter, especially if you're following certain accounts. And at the same time, if you're following really decent accounts, there's a smaller chance that you're going to come across anything false. I believe that media literacy skills would benefit every single citizen. It would make us very intelligent voters. It would make us more open-minded about people that we have not had the privilege to meet ourselves. It would help us understand the role that social media play in our lives, how it makes us feel. It would help us understand the relationship we have with the media, not only in how we use the media, but more importantly, how the media use us. I think the most important thing you can do is just get used to asking a lot of questions. Who's the sender of the message? What's their motive or intent? What tips or tricks do they use to get their point across? Where did you find the message? Who's the intended audience? Who profits from the message? What is left out of the message? How could someone else interpret this message differently from me? We really just want to get into the habit of asking questions about the motives and who profits from all the messages that we receive every day.
Well, I can see how some people would think it's a piece of ham on his face. But I could see how people would be like, oh my God, this dog got burnt. Like, one like equals one prayer, okay. Yeah, I don't feel much different because I saw that it was ham, but that makes me kind of upset that some people believed that that was a real dog that got burnt.
I don't understand why they would frame the dog or just make other people feel sad for a normal dog when there are dogs that have this problem.
Well, I think I'm glad the dog wasn't hurt, but I don't know why someone would do that or put it on, what reason they would have for posting something like that, especially if it's not even true.
Yeah, I always try to be literate. You know, I do a lot of journalism, so it's very important to me that we all learn how to consume media more responsibly and really think about what we're looking at and seeing if it's a verified source, seeing if it's coming from a real person or just coming from a completely random person who has no expertise in what they're posting about.
Yes, I'll make sure I know what I'm seeing is truthful, not fake like this.
Yeah, I think I would pay more attention, consuming the media, and Yeah, I mean, I was aware this stuff goes on, and but really, you just have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. Realize it's just because it's on here doesn't mean it's real at all. So, yeah, people have to do that.
Using Julie's information and advice, I decided to download a Twitter and follow different news outlets to see if I came across any false information. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to some news sources to see what they're covering and if there's any bias there. So we'll go ahead and go to NBC. Former VP Biden. We'll find out whether I can win the primaries. They're alluding to the Joe Biden in the press right now with all of his accusations. Former VP Biden says he wouldn't be surprised if more women come forward about uncomfortable interactions. I'm sorry I didn't understand more. I'm not sorry for any of my intentions. They used a very straightforward quote from Biden. They didn't use any negative words describing Biden. Again, with Biden right here, it says former VP Biden invites children on stage during his speech at a construction conference, puts his arm around a boy and makes light of recent news related to his physical interactions with people. By the way, he gave me permission to touch him. So using the terms such as makes light of recent news rather than spinning it to say something such as jokes about serious accusations, they say makes light. So kind of painting him in a more lighthearted mood. And these are exactly the messages we need to look for, because while you may not realize they are biased towards a certain message, because at the end of the day, these news sources profit from clicks and getting our attention in this way. So we'll go ahead and look at the opposite end of the spectrum, close off this Twitter investigation by looking at Fox News. This is Kellyanne Conway on Joe Biden. If anyone just types in creepy Uncle Joe videos, you come up with a treasure trove. I think Joe Biden has a big problem here because he calls it affection and handshakes. His party calls it completely inappropriate. So they're getting a more Republican perspective on it, you could say, where it seems the right wing has been very quick to act on saying worse things about Biden than the left side has with these accusations. So they're reporting this one side of what someone thinks about Joe Biden. And while I'm scrolling through, I'm not seeing much else, another perspective. So basically, I think we found that there are definitely some bias in the news. I didn't find as many fully fake news stories, but I did find a lot of bias, and that's kind of what we need to start asking ourselves in the media is who profits and how can this affect the media we're consuming. Overall, what we've learned from downloading a Twitter and seeing the bias in the messages is that we just need to make sure that we are looking who the sender of the message is and understand what they earn from posting these stories and know exactly how the media affects us in our day-to-day lives.